Frank Zappa. Are these your cousins or brothers and sisters? Or?
I have no relatives.
None at all?
Nope. I've been phased out.
I saw a picture of you with your parents in Life magazine once. They
Those
did a
aren't
piece.
relatives, those are parents.
There's nothing relative between?
Relatives come to visit.
Oh, is that right? Your parents don't come to see you ever?
Well, my father doesn't, he's dead, but my mother comes over every once in a while.
I'm sorry to hear that, but your mother comes over once in a while?
Yeah.
Live in California?
Mm-hmm.
They live where, in Orange County?
No, they live down the hill.
Down what hill? Down the hill from your house?
Yeah.
So neighbors.
Yeah.
So, how was your show down in Providence?
Hey, it was divine.
It's a beautiful experience?
Yeah.
Did any of you guys see it? Were you there? You good? Did he do that thing with the dental floss? Or he doesn't do that anymore?
No, we didn't do any bondage tonight.
No bondage? No dental floss bondage?
Let's talk about those prostitutes.
They took the list away from me, but they have their addresses.
I don't want to name them. I just want to say something about prostitution. Can I do that?
Sure.
I think that people should appreciate the work of prostitutes because prostitutes do something that nobody else wants to do, which is strap on ugly guys who can't get it any other way than to buy it. And we should all give a rousing round of applause to any girl who will do the public service of strapping on these unfortunate guys. I think that these women are entitled to earn the money that whatever they can charge for this service, and I think that the men who need this service should have access to it so that they don't do other things that are more harmful to society. And some of the ugliest guys that really need it, obviously, are in politics. So I think that we should make sure that plenty of these women get right near all of your local government, your state government, and, of course, the federal government. They all need it. Let's see to it that they get it.
I think that's very well put, Frank. You're a big fan of disco, true?
Oh, sure. Love it.
We were talking before the show that I saw you on a disco... What was the name of that show again?
Disco Dance Fever.
Disco Dance Fever, and that's one of those syndicated shows, and you were the...
That's right. I was one of the judges.
Now, a lot of people associated you with being as far from disco as you possibly could be. Didn't you have a quote about what disco is? It's a place for... You know the
quote? Oh, yeah, I know the quote. Where people get together in the dark and meet each other so that they can go do other things later, you know. This is something that is valid and important. Whether or not I personally care for disco music is irrelevant. Disco music performs a function in the society for the people who need to have that sort of background music to their lifestyle. Everybody is entitled to hear whatever kind of music that they like. They should have whatever entertainment that they like, because it's the entertainment that relieves the pressures of living in the 20th century. So if you like disco, go for it. And if you hate it, don't get in the way of the people who like it. Go do something else. Go country and western, you know.
What about the Shake Your Booty album? Is that your biggest album in terms of sales, the most successful album commercially?
Probably not. And the reason I say that is because the first album we made was called Freak Out, but it was released on through a company called Verve, which was a subsidiary of MGM. Mm-hmm. And we have no way of knowing how many copies that album sold, but I think that that's probably the largest selling album.
Because it sustained for years and years. When did that?
15 years ago.
That's incredible. But, well, so you're kind of a survivor. I said that in the opening, you know, in a sense. There's so many rock acts that come and go and come and go. And you've sustained through many, many changes, countless number of different kinds of bands, different groups called the Mothers, and guys came and went, and then when you gave up calling the band the Mothers and just went out on your own and so on. And is there a sense of where you're going, or you just sort of, is it a spontaneous thing of what you feel like playing, or... Do you feel yourself a kind of a representative of the times, or not?
No, I'm not representative of the times at all. I'm representative only of what I do, and it's only useful to the people who like to consume it. It's not universal. It's not mass consumer product. You
don't think of yourself as a cultural or a pop phenomenon?
Well, it just depends on how badly you want to treat the English language. You know, I'm not, I may be cultural. I may be pop and I may be a phenomenon, but to stick them all together and call that the essence of what I am would be a mistake to do.
Well, the reason I was saying is because, you know, when the Shake Your Booty album came out, it had a sound that was a current sort of sound, as opposed to some of your other albums, which sort of stuck out, you know, never got played on the radio. How many albums did you release that never got played on the radio in the beginning?
Well, every once in a while something gets on, but, you know, none of them really got a lot of radio exposure.
So is it a different kind of career now? Because now that your records, you hear your stuff on the radio all the time now. Different kind of crowd go to your concerts and stuff?
It's younger, generally.
Do they not remember Lumpy Gravy and that kind of stuff?
Well, most of them have never heard Lumpy Gravy, but a lot of them remember earlier albums than that, because usually what happens is if they listen to something current and they like that, they go to the record store and suddenly discover there's 30 albums.
Is there that many?
Yeah. And there's about 50 bootlegs.
All from concerts and that kind of thing. You're a family man?
Well, of course.
Now, let me ask you, I always wanted to ask you something about your kids' names.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to, you know, what are the names? There isn't Roadmap, isn't one of them?
No.
No. And there isn't Weasel?
No.
What is it?
And then I don't have any children named Rabbit Hutch or Buick either.
Not one?
Not one.
Cousins or?
I might have some cousins named Rabbit Hutch. I think I have a cousin named Bob Rabbit Hutch somewhere, but I have no children named Rabbit Hutch or Buick.
What are your children's names?
The names of my children are Moon, Dweezil, Amit, and Diva. The oldest one is 12 years. The youngest one is 8 months.
The boy is Moon?
2 girls, 2 boys. Moon's a girl, Diva's a girl. Amit's a boy, Dweezil's a boy.
Dweezil? Now, I was wondering if is he prone to being beaten up in the schoolyard, being called Dweezil?
No, he's not. Actually, he's a rather sports-oriented kind of, you know, aggressive little guy.
He's a tough little sucker?
He wouldn't take any caca from you.
Oh, Frank. I would not dish out to young Dweezil.
Dweezil is a sturdy little boy.
You a fan of television?
I like the news because it's the funniest thing that anybody can see. I like to watch people lie.
Do you have any feeling about what's going on, talking about the news? You know, the big Iran thing. You got any
Do I have feelings about it? You betcha. But I don't think that it's my place to say anything that could cause any more problems for anybody above and beyond what they've got already.
So you sort of keep your opinions about that stuff
About that particular subject, I really don't think that I should run my mouth, because everybody else is doing it, and I don't think that it's doing any good.
Okay. What about your, let's talk a little bit about your video projects. We have a couple of them we're going to show in a few minutes. We're going to show Baby Snakes, and then the next segment we have another one we're going to show. But you've been into video for a long time.
Yeah.
You like it?
It's okay.
What do you like about it?
I like the fact that you can do a lot of things electronically that are impossible and or very expensive in normal film tweezage.
Film tweezage?
Yeah, you know, when you're talking about opticals and video, you just push a button and turn a crank, and
because now, because you were working in video for a long time, before it became fashionable. Now every record company, every single different group has their own little video thing. Do you think there's a future in that? Would you like to get into the video thing with both feet? You know, they say that's the coming, element for the rock industry.
Gee, it sounds really exciting.
Well, Frank, maybe you and I later we can get together and watch some videos. We have one of yours. We have your Baby Snakes, and can we look at that now?
No.
No, we can't?
Okay, we can.
Oh, come on, let's negotiate.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at Baby Snakes. Wow. That was incredible. It literally melted. It literally melted. And how did you do that? Was there some kind of a fuse attached to it so that it would self-destruct like that? Is that part of the creative process?
Yes. Obviously, in my case, it is.
You just built that right in there?
I want to say that the animation that you saw was done by a guy named Bruce Bickford. I didn't do it. It's only in my movie, but Bruce Bickford did the animation.
And where is he out of? California?
Yeah.
We have, we're going to go away for a a couple of spots, and when we come back, you're going to have a chance to talk to Frank at 449-4800 and ask him anything you want. Stay with us. Frank Zappa is the face that you see on your television set. Frank, what did we just see?
You saw part of a movie called Baby Snakes. You saw the song called Baby Snakes from the movie called Baby Snakes, which is coming out in June. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes long. It has music, animation, and unusual behavior.
And it will be released nationwide. People can see it at their local theaters. And
Yes.
did you have a hard time releasing a film? What company released it?
Me.
It's independent?
Yeah.
And so you're just setting up your own distribution of it?
That's right.
So you didn't have to answer to nobody?
This is true.
All right. We'll take some calls at 449-4800. I was going to ask you about that because it was because of the length. You know, most film companies won't release a film that is that long because they can't show it enough times in a day to make enough money.
That's right.
But that doesn't bother you?
No.
Not a bit?
Nope.
What about your record company? Now, you're jumping record companies again.
Well, yes.
Why did you seem to have gone through a few in a short period of time? Are you cantankerous in corporate meetings or something?
No. I very seldom attend corporate meetings.
Do you not deliver your product on time?
No, I deliver it right on time.
Is it off key?
What does that mean?
Well, you know, it's a tonal. Some of the songs may not be pleasing to the. What I'm asking you is why did you have problems with Mercury?
In the case of Phonogram, there was a mid-range executive who had a very bad response to a song called I Don't Want to Get Drafted. When the tapes arrived at the company, he said, I was in the Army, I don't like the words to that song, and so he didn't want to release it as a single, and it was option pickup time, and so we just said, well, if you're not happy with me, then I won't be happy with you, and we'll just part ways, and just forget it.
So that's the end of that. So you released that single.
I released it myself, yeah.
And
now it's being distributed by CBS.
They picked it up, and then you eventually will go off to CBS?
It's possible.
But nobody knows for sure. Whatever happened to that album that you had, the four-sided album that was called
Leather.
Leather. Was that ever released, or
Parts of it have come out.
in different forms on other albums? And
Yeah, it's part of what the lawsuit with Warner Brothers is all about.
holding back that. Have you had?
I don't want to talk about
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
record companies. Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question on the music industry in general. Can we take that last answer and just
Sure.
and use this
Music
same one
industry
again?
in general.
Thank you very much. Let's take a call. Hi, you're live on 5 All Night, Live All Night.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Polonsky.
Hi, you want to? Whoa, hi. You have a question for Frank?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that I won the Frank Zappa lookalike contest on WCOZ in Boston.
Have you considered
Congratulations.
plastic surgery?
What? No, Lisa Carlin actually said, no offense or anything, but she said, congratulations for being as ugly as Frank Zappa.
Heard that. He said to tell Lisa that
Tell Lisa I think that was a nasty remark.
Huh?
Tell Lisa I think that was a nasty remark.
tell Frank, you mean?
I mean Frank and Lisa.
Yeah, my name's Frank, and Lisa is different.
I just want to say one thing because I'm not at home, and I won a videotape machine as the prize for the contest.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell my brother to turn it on so he can tape what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
So Daniel,
That'd be good because, you know, they're watching you on television right now.
What?
All right, so what's your brother's name?
Daniel.
What's your brother's name?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah, tell him to turn on the videotape machine that I won in the Frank Zappa lookalike contest.
Oh, not to be confused. Not to be confused with the videotape that you won in the Olivia Newton-John lookalike contest,
No,
which is in the other
I won
room.
this.
I understand. Thanks for your call.
And if you ever wants me for a right story to be the actor.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. Thank you very much. Can we take another one? Sure. Hi, you're live on 5 All Night, Live All Night.
How you doing, Matty?
Real good. Who's this?
This is Jeff from Washington.
Hi, Jeff. Do you have a question for my guest, Mr.
Yeah.
Zappa?
I guess Frank, when he wrote the song Dancing Fool, did he catch any flack from the people who like disco?
No. Because they never heard it.
Well, I think it's a pretty decent
They were still listening to Push in the Bush then.
Yeah, well, I have to think disco is nauseating myself because it all sounds the same. I mean, same beat, same drum, same little high-pitched voices and stuff like that.
Well, what can you say? This is America at its finest. It's
And I got one more
music to
question.
dress
How
up
do you
to.